You know you're going to die. Not today, probably not soon, but somewhere in the back of your mind. That fact is always there. Now here's the question that nobody ever asks. When did humans first have that thought? Not you. The very first human. 300,000 years ago. No language, no religion, no concept of what death even means. Just a brain. Standing over a dead body. And for the first time in the history of life on this planet, understanding. That is going to be me. Before we get to ancient humans, do any animals understand death? Because the answers are more interesting than you think. Elephants stay with their dead for hours. They touch the body with their trunks. They stand in silence. Chimp mothers carry out dead infants for days, unable to put them down. Crows gather silently around a dead crow, not eating, not calling, just present. Something real is happening in these animals. But here's the critical difference. None of them understand their own death. The elephant mourns, but the elephant does not lie awake tonight thinking, I am going to die someday. That is what makes humans completely different from every other species on Earth. Not, something died. I will die. That shift, that single cognitive leap, is one of the most important moments in the entire history of life. 100,000 years ago, caves in what is now Israel, ancient humans placing their dead in specific, careful positions, red ochre pigment painted deliberately onto bones, shells and objects placed beside the body with intention. This is not random. This is ritual. This is ancient humans doing something meaningful in the face of something they couldn't control. And even older. 300,000 years ago in South Africa, a species called Homo naledi, brain much smaller than ours, and carrying their dead deep into cave systems through passages so narrow a person could barely squeeze through, in complete darkness, for no survival benefit whatsoever. You do not do that by accident. You do not carry someone you loved through total darkness unless that person still means something to you after death. Which means they understood what death was. So what triggered it? Researchers point to one specific cognitive ability, theory of mind. The ability to understand that other beings have inner experiences separate from your own, to feel what another person feels, to model another mind from the inside. It is what makes empathy possible. And once a brain can do that with enough precision, something inevitable happens. It watches something die. It feels what that dying individual experienced, and then turns that same feeling onto itself. And the thought arrives, that will happen to me, somewhere between 100,000 and 300,000 years ago. One ancient human had that thought, for the very first time, and they couldn't take it back. That discovery was not a neutral event. It was catastrophic. And the ways ancient humans found to live with it built essentially everything we recognize as human civilization, religion. If the people you loved simply stopped existing, the grief was unbearable. But if they went somewhere, if death was a transition and not an ending, if the dead could still be reached, then the grief had somewhere to go. That need, born entirely from the terror of death, is where religion begins. Burial ritual, painting ochre onto bones, placing objects carefully beside the dead, arranging the body with intention. All of it one ancient human trying to do something meaningful in the face of something meaningless. Cave paintings. You make something permanent because you know you are temporary. The handprint on the wall says one thing. I was here. I existed. This moment was real. Most people watch something like this and immediately open the next thing. The ones who actually sit with it, who let it land, they're the ones who come back. If that's you, subscribe. Not because I'm asking, because next video we're going somewhere just as heavy. Did ancient humans get lonely? Alone. No phone, no language, no way to even name the feeling. Just the dark, and the silence, and the desperate question of whether anyone else felt it too. That video posts this week. Don't miss it. You're the only animal on this planet that carries this weight. Every other species goes through its entire existence without it. Only you. And everything extraordinary about humanity. The art, the music, the religion, the desperate need to love and be loved and to matter. All of it is a response to one terrible realization, made by one ancient human beside a dead body 300,000 years ago. They looked at death and thought, that's going to be me. And then they did exactly what you do. They buried their dead with care. They pressed their hands into cave walls. They loved each other harder because they knew it wouldn't last. 300,000 years later, you're still doing the same thing.